Well, friends, it's been several months since we last wrote to you, and Bethany and I have been thinking about how we could best communicate our response to that email and what comes next. The last thing that you heard from us was sort of an SOS. We had some pretty big needs financially, and our support was not where it needed to be, and so we reached out, and our God has provided for our needs, and He used you guys. Many of you gave to us sacrificially, and we really appreciate that generosity. About $2,500 came in response to that, above and beyond our normal support. We even had some supporters who doubled their support perpetually going forward. So we are so grateful for that. We were able to get that garage door fixed that was completely sealed shut. We were able to make a big chunk of Jack's tuition payment. In the space of time since then, we had 2 car batteries die literally on the same day. So it's just been good to be able to have what we've needed for that. We're just grateful. We still need you to pray, and if God puts it on your heart to give, especially, we're going to still need to see that deficit hopefully erased as we come to the new year. We're going to be making some pretty big adjustments to how we budget our funds starting in this new year. And that's going to go along with something else that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But I wanted Bethany to take some time and kind of explain the bigger backstory that's been going on over this year.
Okay, so as Joel mentioned, we kept saying on our Facebook group that we were going to post, and we were going to post, and we were going to update you guys, and we didn't, and we didn't, and we didn't. And so I want to explain a little bit about what was going on in the background here with us as to why it took us so long to communicate. So financially, we've been in a struggle mode, as Joel mentioned, for a while now. But there was also some stirrings in our hearts that maybe we needed to be reevaluating what we were doing, where we were doing it, and with whom we were doing it. And I don't know, I'd kind of liken it maybe to a little bit of a midlife crisis for us in ministry. Like
mostly me.
You know, all right, Lord, what are you doing? Are you stirring these waters because you want us to make a change, or are you stirring them because you want our faith? And I think the bottom line is always that He wants our faith. But this time, for us, was a very scary time. And so we just didn't know, and we kept thinking, well, we'll know by the end of the week. Well, we'll know by the end of the month. And the Lord just never made anything clear until just recently. And so we were taking time to pray. I don't think we've ever prayed as much in our 16 years of marriage as we have over these last few months together. We sought counsel from people that we trust, that know us well, that know our passion and our hearts, and we got some really good feedback from those people. And the main thing that was stuck with us, I think, of all of those conversations that we had was, are you running to something else that God is directing you toward, or are you running away from difficult situations? And that was sobering, I think is the right word. And I think the finances, as you all know, finance is such a difficult thing when it's not going well. It kind of permeates everything. And so it starts to make you question, maybe because we don't have the finances we need, that's God saying that we should be looking elsewhere. And, you know, as we answered that question, what are you running toward? We couldn't say. There wasn't anything God was leading us toward. Now, as we were kind of putting feelers out to see, there were some interesting options for sure in ministries elsewhere, within our organization and outside of it in other ministries, but neither one of us felt that God was telling us to run toward that. And so we came to the conclusion that Ethnos 360 is still the best fit for our family. Our passion is for the unreached people of the world, that they have the opportunity to choose, just like we did, to know their God, to know their Creator, and to have a completed church in their villages, in their communities, among their people in their own language, to have God's word completed in those languages. And we believe that Ethnos 360 is the organization that we want to join with and continue to join with, because they're doing that completed work. And Joel is going to continue to do what he does well, and that is to work within the communications team here at Sanford. And I will continue to do what I don't always feel like I do so well, which is to keep our home going and our family and the different needs that we have. But our family really does need stability, and that was a big player in our decision.
So what that brings us to is that in the next year, starting in mid-January, we're going to take time where I step away from the job with the communications department and instead use my full-time work week to focus on increasing our support base, reinvigorating the team that we have, helping people see really clearly why a social media strategist in Sanford, Florida is vital to church planting efforts. And it is. It definitely is. But we can do more to help our team understand what we're doing. So in agreement with my leadership team, we've got the freedom to do this, and we're honestly, well, at least I can say I'm optimistic about it. I'm looking forward to taking what I've learned how to do well over 7 years in communications and apply that to our own ministry, and bring all of you closer to what we're doing. You all, most of you probably follow Ethnos 360 on social media, which is, you get a chance to see.
You should like and share.
You get a chance to see what I pour my heart and soul into, but we want to be able to demonstrate how we fit into that in a greater way. And so we're looking forward to this time. It's going to be different. I'm going to be working from home. It'll especially be different for Jack, who's the one kid that's at home most of the time. And just to be clear, I'm still expected to put 40 hours a week into this, and I'll have a partnership development coach that I'll be accountable to. And we'll have some specific goals that we'll talk about more in future updates of what we need to see come in. Because what it really is an increase in how much support we receive every month. Without that increase, our budget will continue to run in a deficit like it has. And we're going to be focusing on a specific goal. And we've got a lot of tools to get there. So we need you to keep praying for us intentionally, that we would use this time really well, that we would rely on the Lord for encouragement when it seems like maybe it's slow going or it's not going to happen. But that we would also have minds that are really creative and looking for unexpected ways to connect with people and to connect people to what we're a part of. But we really appreciate all of you guys' intentional prayer for us, for hanging in there with us when the updates are few and far between, and for taking our needs in our ministry to the Lord. We are so grateful for the team that we've got. I'm looking forward to seeing more people added to that, and looking forward to seeing those that are already with us more encouraged and more confident that the Potters are doing exactly what they need to be doing.
What was that?
Just trying to give really good B-roll here.